Hi everyone, hope you're okay. Gary Waterman, a former police officer, a victim in relation to this crime and a recent Christian. Before I show you the next very important video of a document, I'm going to show you a video of an email sent to almost 650 MPs and councillors, and I'm going to read that to you now, okay? Okay, so I'm just going to show you this email. As you can see, it was sent there up top right, you can see 29th of February, so a few days ago. And these are all the MPs and councillors that it was sent to. Okay, there's 5 lots of these emails, so it's around 650 people. Okay, you can slow this down, pause. You can see Boris Johnson's name. Pause this and look at it slowly so you can see who it's sent to. But I'm going to read the main body of the email to you. You can see it's got 2 attachments on here. So the top one, BCP Council, is in relation to the videos I've done recently about the council and the links through. And the second document is one that I'm going to show you in a minute. It's almost identical, other than I've tweaked it a little bit since I've sent this, and I've also redacted it. I shouldn't have to because they're public documents on there. But I'm going to read this to you. This is really important. It says, "Dear Honourable Ladies and Gentlemen, as you may recall from my previous emails, there's a couple of spelling mistakes. Sorry, I've done all this on my phone. I'm a former Dorset police officer, recent Christian, former director, and now a shareholder of Exporn Manor Freehold Limited, and victim of over £200,000 of real estate fraud in relation to this matter." And that's because the building isn't fire safe, as well as all the other issues going on with it. Since my last email to over 650 MPs and councillors, I've received only 2 emails, one from Harriet Harman, now appearing to be linked to the system of fraud, and other serious concerns that related to it. I draw your attention to the attached documents that detail some of the research surrounding the Dorset Council area and significant and quick links to a shareholder within Exporn Manor Freehold Limited, that's my company, to hundreds of management companies, Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein, Max Clifford, Prime Minister's Special Advisor Douglas Smith, and a legal banking, that should say, system surrounding the World Trade Centre disaster. It really is quite overwhelming. This, along with many other similar documents, and now almost 100,000 word statement with thousands of supporting documents is irrefutable evidence that the government have been involved in decades-long fraud in relation to the taxation system and real estate, by allowing the falsification of the company's house registration system and the use of forged bank documents produced by the banks to allow selected companies to falsify their figures to company's house and send the real money offshore. These are all serious crimes under the 2006 Fraud Act. It is linked to the Post Office, Fujitsu and Horizon scandal, the David Cameron Greensill scandal, the PPE scandal, the Teesside, sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, Michael Gove and Ben Houchin scandal, Tatra steel closures, and most of the wars that have all been illegal due to this system being used to fund illegally unregistered trading weapons companies linked to the fraud. Unsurprisingly, it appears to be linked to several high-profile deaths, including Nicola Bulley, Madeleine McCann, Robert Maxwell, Max Clifford, Jeffrey Epstein, Dorset Police Inspector Neil Monroe, Manchester Chief Constable Michael Todd, and the Lancashire Assistant Chief Constable Peter Lawson, and likely many more. Many members of Parliament appear to be linked to the system of fraud, and the evidence is so significant that many have now been reported as formal suspects. It appears that the Freemasons are involved and have infiltrated almost every area of society over the last 3 centuries or so, with the ultimate goal being to move to a cashless society and enslave the general public in a criminal system of taxation and everything that comes with it. Sadly, the voting system appears to be corrupted through this system, and has done the entire legal system. Certainly every element of the legal system I've looked at, and there's a video coming out on that. This must stop, and ideally it should be changed internally by those who are innocent in this, and those involved voluntarily stepping down in power. May the good Lord help us if none of you are innocent. There must be a transparent taxation system at the source, i.e. online bank accounts, not typed up accounts. We need to see the bank accounts. It can easily be done, allowing all collective income and expenditure that is available for members of the public to see it. The technology is available to do this. I haven't put this, but an example would be where every 6 months Bournemouth Council Tax puts the collective income from council tax into a bank account, then everyone can see the amount that's come in, and then from that account you'll see transparent expenditure where that taxation money is being spent. Okay, so it could easily be done with the technology at the source of the bank, though, that's important. All details of existing and new Companies House registrations must be verified. This is essential. Why aren't Companies House doing it? They verify everything else. We know that. We have to provide proof of our address and proof of our identity. This should be happening with companies. All general members of the public should be given a break from making tax contributions, and those involved in allowing this fraud to continue should finance and service the service of the country through their criminally obtained assets and money. Obviously, we all know that's the right thing if they really want to put this right to do. Government need to make a public declaration that they will make no further moves towards a cashless society. You have proven that mankind cannot be trusted with digitised control of the taxation system. The management of real estate needs a transaction accounting system at the source of payments, again similar to what we talked about, but for buildings that are in relation to leasehold properties, so that all leaseholders can see the income and expenditure in relation to the property, as well as there being a safeguarded transaction system. So there needs to be a second or third signatory for those accounts. My company deliberately didn't have that, and I tried putting it in place, and they refused to do it because they appeared to be involved in this. And suitably signed management agreement needs to be in place. My company is refusing to give me a signed management agreement despite saying there is one. Anyway, there's lots more about that coming out. There's a court case coming up in relation to it. Well, there can't be because it's an illegal court case, but we'll talk about that later. There is an obvious connection of immoral sexual activity and possible paedophilia throughout this system, and this is likely being used as a method to bribe members of parliament into making certain decisions. It is therefore not surprising. I'm going to have to move my tablet out. Not surprising that sexually immoral and or legally explicit pornography is being allowed to continue to be accessible to children throughout the country, as well as the ease of availability of alcohol and mind-altering substances. That is obviously suppressing the public from probably identifying this. Very fortunately, luckily, I do not drink or take substances myself. I haven't put that, but I have a drink every now and then. But you must realise that this whole system is causing significant mental health and addiction problems across the country, leading to crime and struggling public services. You must prevent the availability of sexually immoral, criminally explicit pornography, and ensure that alcohol and other mind-altering and damaging substances are not available to young people. This system is incredibly close to creating hell on earth, so the best way I can put it, and that must not happen. This and much more information has now been circulated in the public domain through various methods, as well as this email. None of it is misinformation, it is publicly accessible information, and these emails are in the interests of the public. That's what I'm thinking. Dorset Police and the Independent Office of Police Conduct have placed my family and I at a significant risk of harm due to Dorset Police sharing sensitive information. I've got evidence of all of this and documented information about my reports with them, with those already named as prime suspects, and the Independent Office of Police Conduct having shared my statement with Dorset Police without my consent, despite knowing their apparent involvement, and reports that I had already been followed, been intimidated, had my email account infiltrated, emails deleted, tracking apps trying to be installed on my phone, and 2 attempts having been made to remove items from my vehicle. I actually had to chase one of the guys off. It's not very nice for my wife. And my wife and I can now very likely never return home safely due to their actions. Information now shows that both the Independent Office of Police Conduct and the Serious Fraud Office were linked to the fraudulent system. Now, I hope this doesn't offend anyone, but I've got to be open and honest about who I am and what I believe. Nobody has to believe this if they don't want to, but I believe it's my faith that has compelled me to pursue this and be able to obtain the overwhelming evidence. I suspect the very sorts of those that have been involved are very much at stake in this. As always, please feel free to contact me, and I'll put my telephone up. God bless you. Okay, so I thought it would be important to share that with you. And now I'll show you the big document.